Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Truly, the voice of an angel singing a very powerful song. Thank you very much. It was just a beautiful rendition of our national anthem, Vanessa. Next, I'd like to bring up to the podium for an invocation Imam Ahmed Hamoud from the Islamic Center of America and Pastor Nathan Hayes from the Solid Rock Church.
In the name of God, the most merciful brother and sister, peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's an honor for me to be with you today, to talk a little bit about the justice. This is something we need in our life. We cannot live without it. I could be a poor person and happy. I could be anything, but I will never be happy if I don't get my rights. Justice, this is something we look for it to have a good life and peaceful all over the world. And this is the hardest things we need. We should work for it. Today we pray to God, asking the help to open our heart and mind to see the truth, to see the right, and guide us to bring the justice for everyone in this world. God bless you all. Amen. Thank you.
I'm very excited to be able to do this today for my friend. I know that that's a different idea. You have two different backgrounds, two different cultures, two different religions. But this is my friend. This is my friend Susan, and I'm so glad to be able to celebrate with her today. But I want to do something a little different today. We're going to go to prayer, and I don't have a lot to say as far as giving you any instructions. We're just here to celebrate today. We're excited about what is happening and what's happening in the lives, and I'm grateful to call Susan my friend for the primary reason of this. I get a chance to look around, and you see a lot of different leaders, but you get a chance to see somebody who is family first, and that's important. That's important to our culture and in our community, because without strong families, we don't have a strong community. And without strong families, we don't have a strong justice system, we don't have a strong judicial system. And so I wonder if we could just bow our heads, and we're going to go to prayer today. We're going to pray over this. and we're going to allow God to do something today. God, I thank you today for everything that you do. I thank you, God, for strong leaders at a time like what we're living in right now, God. People who will put themselves out there in order to see justice, in order to see equitable things happen in our society. God, I'm asking, Lord, that you protect Susan and her family in this new endeavor, God, in this new thing that she is doing. God, I'm asking, Lord, that you would put a hedge of protection around her, upon her kids, upon her husband, Lord. God, right now, we know that people will come from all different corners, Jesus. Lord, they're going to be asking different questions. They're going to be wanting different things. And we're asking you right now that you would give them protection, Lord. God, give her wisdom and discernment. As she walks into this new role, she's going to need both, God, and knowledge to be able to do the things she needs to do to make the decisions that she needs to make. And God, for the ability to be equitable, God, to be able to fairly deal equally and with everybody who is concerned. God, we give you glory today for what you have done. God, you have put up whom you will. You have put people in positions that need to be there, and we're thankful for our leadership today. We give you glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, thank you very much. It's nice to hear words of peace and gratitude in these turbulent times, and thank you, gentlemen. We're about ready to start the program. I am missing one document that I would like to have. Here we go. Thank you. All right, and this is the part where I'm going to be introducing some of the dignitaries who have graced us with their presence. And I want you to know that Susan's viewpoint is, of course, we do want to acknowledge those who have made a special effort to be here. But in Susan's mind, all of you are dignitaries, and we just don't have enough time to go through and mention all of your names, and for that she apologizes. But you must know that seeing this large group of supporters of hers just moves her very, very deeply, and again, thank you for that. So what I'd like to do is, first of all, indicate that one of the dignitaries who was here is our Congressperson, Debbie Dingell, and she's had to leave to head back to Washington to do the people's work. I want to say that she has left behind a proclamation from the United States House of Representatives congratulating Susan on this honor that has been bestowed upon her and basically on all of us. And so I just want to acknowledge that. I guess I'll be presenting that to you a little bit later. We have also from the Wayne County Commission, Sam Beydoun, of course, because Sam is everywhere, we all know that, and Martha Scott, also from the County Commission. There are a couple other people I'm going to introduce because they have speaking roles here, but one of them is our new, and congratulations, Deputy Executive of the Wayne County, and that's Assad Turfi. And Director of Wayne County Homeland Security, Sam Jafar. The school board is represented this evening by Hussein Berry. I'm going to warn people who have a speaking role here today that there's this one light. It's right there, and I should have worn my sunglasses because it's kind of bright, but just remember that when you get up here. All right, from the city of Dearborn, we have Chief Shaheen. And from Wayne County, again, Under Sheriff Mike Jafar. Treasurer Lisa Hicks Clayton, and Commissioner from the Wayne County, or I'm sorry, the City of Dearborn Charter Commission, Hussein Hatcham. Representing the City Council, we do have a quorum. We have Leslie Herrick, Aaron Burns, Mustafa Hamoud, I'm going to take that quorum remark back because we don't have a quorum. Those are the members from the City Council. There are just two other names thrown in here from the Dearborn Heights City Council, Mo Beydoun and Dave Abdallah. So combined, we can get those guys together and merge the cities or something. All right. We additionally have both mayors from Dearborn Heights and Dearborn. We have the Honorable Abdallah Hamoud and the Honorable Bill Bazzi. All right, I turn now to the judges, which, it's hard to pick them out because they all, for some reason, chose the same outfit. But in any event, I'm going to go ahead and name them all in no particular order, and here we go. And I'm going to skip the word judge before. Is that all right? I'll see. They're all judges, right? So Ronald Giles, Sean Cox, Chief Judge of the Third Circuit, Timothy Kenny. Here's a name you guys know, Ivana Abraham, and Eugene Hunt, and Mark Summers from the 19th District Court, Miriam Bazzi, again, Third Circuit, Mark Plowecki from the Dearborn Heights District Court, and I think the rest of these folks are, and David Turfey from the 20th District Court, also Dearborn Heights. And then we have Melissa Cox, Donald Knapp, James Chilinsky, Kathleen McCarthy, Alexis Glendenning, Carla Testani, Charlene Elder, and Christopher Blunt. If I can, just as a matter of personal privilege, I would like to make a comment about the list of judges that I have just read and the difference in the makeup of the bench. And from the time that I started practicing law, and yes, there was electricity back then, but what we have is a rather different looking bench, and of particular interest to this area is when I started practicing law, the bench consisted solely, I think with one exception, and I'm talking about the Wayne County Circuit Court, of white men. They were all old, too, I might point out. But now we have such rich diversity on our bench. And I used to marvel at people who lived in Grosse Pointe because just about every judge that was appointed lived in Grosse Pointe, it seemed. And I thought how cool that would be to be at the fruit market and run into a judge and be able to have a chat with them. Well, let me tell you folks that paradigm has switched, and Dearborn is now the epicenter of where judges are from. And when I talk about diversity, I have to say that our Wayne County Family Bench, of which Judge Dabaja is a member, consists of Charlene Elder, in part, Charlene Elder and Adal Harb and Halal Farhat, Ivana Abraham. And when I think about that level of diversity, I'm very proud of our governor, who is principally responsible, with an assist from the lieutenant governor, in appointing these people to the bench. And it's been a good thing for the people of Wayne County and certainly for the community. All right. So I had not intended to make that diversion, but I did, so all right. We're going to hear now from Malak Beydoun. Now, Malak is someone who has been that rock, that somebody who puts themselves out for public office, as Susan has on a number of occasions, somebody who has acted as her campaign manager, her confidant, her friend, her crying towel, enjoyed her triumphs and consoled her in her sadnesses as a result of all of the political activity she's been engaged in. And she's become a good, dear, and trusted friend. Malak?
Good evening. In all the years I spent in the political arena, it's not often you'd see me behind this podium. But for a moment as significant as this, I feel compelled to say a few words. Our journey started almost 2 decades ago in a small law firm on Chase, where a hardworking immigrant with humble beginnings dared to believe. He dared to believe in possibility and the power of our community. Unknowingly at the time, it was then attorney Sam Salami that put all of this in motion. It was at that very law office that I met my now best friend, closest confidant, and sister, Susan Dabaja. After years of friendship and year after year on the campaign trail, mostly because Susan Dabaja was always running for something, our bond grew stronger. It was almost 10 years ago that this community took a chance on a girl from the South End and overwhelmingly elected her to become city council president on her first run for political office. Most of you know Susan's rise to political stardom, and most of you also know that this journey has not been easy. It's pretty much documented on all of your social media feeds. Her rise from attorney to candidate to council president to candidate again, and now Judge Susan Dabaja. Finally. Thank you, Governor Whitmer. But when you're caught in the heat of the campaign trail, if you're not careful, you can lose track of what matters most. And for years, I watched Susan come home to give her last ounce of energy just to make it in time to have dinner with her family. And I'd often look at her and say, is this worth it? Was it worth the heartache? Was it worth the time taken away from her own kids? Was it worth the countless hours knocking on doors and attending events? The answer is yes, it was worth it. Campaign after campaign, project after project, I found that you're so consumed with all the action and all this twists and turns, it becomes easy to look past the lessons that we need to learn. And they say life will keep teaching you and bringing you the same lessons in disguise until you actually learn them. I now know Allah presented us with these challenges at exactly the right moments. Listen, there's definitely something to be said about the clarity of mind you get when everything around you is unraveling. You see, this past year, I stumbled headfirst in the face of great personal and professional tragedy. I was forced to take a step back from the political sphere and recalibrate. And I want to thank Abdullah Hamoud for that. Mayor Hamoud, thank you. After much reflection and soul searching, I've learned to understand and truly internalize some of the hardest and most valuable lessons public service has taught me, and all of us. As I watch the next generation of leaders and public servants take on the mantle of leadership, I want to impart on some of the lessons that I've learned along the way. Number one, ladies, empower each other. Women who enter public service still face unique challenges, and we have to work twice as hard to get half as much credit. So work together, empower one another, and have each other's backs. Number two, the team. Above all else, loyalty reigns supreme. I remember Judge Salami always teaching me that loyalty trumps ability, always. Number three, life's most adversarial challenges are some of life's greatest teachers. Take a lesson out of every challenge and obstacle that you face, and there's an opportunity for learning and growth at every single step. Cherish them as such. And number four, winning at any cost can be a detrimental mindset. Life exists post-election day, and we have a responsibility to reconcile, heal, and unite our community. I won't deny it. We are passionate people. When we fight, we do so ferociously. But tonight, we have proven that when we love, we do it with just as much passion and intensity. Together, we have helped shift the culture of the political landscape here and set the tone for generations of leaders and public servants that come after us. We have shown the value of working across differences, healing old wounds, and supporting one another, just as family does. Tonight is the very testament of that. Tonight, we come together to celebrate Judge Susan Dabaja. Susan's appointment is really a culmination of the strength of our community, how far we've come, but also how far we have still yet to go. Together, our community has accomplished so much, and we have so much to be proud of, including a district and circuit court bench that now includes several Arab American judges and magistrates, a solicitor general, a deputy county executive, an undersheriff. We are in the leadership at DTE. We are the heads of publicly traded companies. We hold elected office as state representatives and council members. We are leading in the nonprofit and foundation space. We have the longest standing Arab American this is a line, hell, I gotta repeat this one. We have the longest standing Arab American newspaper in our country's history. And we also have elected our first Arab American mayor. Success is owed to their hard work and grit, but most of all, our collective success is owed to all of you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Malak. It's nice to have that personal touch, as all of the speakers do. And speaking of long-lasting Arab American newspapers, our next speaker is the publisher of the Arab American News, Osama Sablani. Now, he doesn't need any introduction, really, from me, because you all know him. And I have gotten to know him over the last year or so as I endeavored to become a little more actively involved in politics. And all I can say is when I first met him, it was like a visit to the Godfather, and I felt, and I know he's called that. And there's a word to me that describes this man with his world of experience and his knowledge of world leaders and world affairs and meeting presidents and all of you. He is a human being. He's not show-offy. He is a man that the word gravitas applies to, and I'm happy to have Osama come to the podium.
You could stay and say a few more words. Good evening. Thank you, Chef Pepper, State Representative. Honorable judges, this is the first time, I do apologize, that I address you and my back is to you. Elected officials, community members and leaders, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's a great evening tonight, and for many reasons. First and foremost, we are witnessing history in the making. The investiture of our sister and an outstanding leader in our community, the Honorable Judge Susan Dabaja. Second, as a community tonight, we are celebrating another achievement of so many achievements. This very hall, the theater, has witnessed in the past decade several investitures for members of our community, including the Honorable Judges Charlene Elder, Adel Harb, Mariam Bezzi, Hilal Farhat, Ivana Abraham, and tonight Susan Dabaja, and yet the best to come. And of course, we cannot forget to mention the Honorable David Allen, who was the first to open the door to the Wayne County Third Circuit Court. Thank you, David. As a community, we have many reasons to celebrate tonight and be proud. But we strongly believe that this is only the beginning, and the best, like I said, is yet to come. I must, however, brag a little. that we are giving the Wayne County Circuit Court our best and brightest. And not only that we are giving the court to the court, but we are giving it to the country as well in all its divisions. Recently, Wayne County CEO Warren Evans appointed Asad Turfi to be the Wayne County Deputy Executive, a bright and rising leader that will serve all Wayne County residents and continue to move the county forward. And another achievement that we can be proud of is the appointment of Mike Shafer to be the Under-Sheriff of Wayne County. I remember, and I have followed, the progress that Susan made so far in her public service career. I remember Susan when she came to the offices of the Arab American News where AIPAC meets, and she was a member of AIPAC. More than 9 years ago, talking about launching her campaign for a seat on the Dearborn City Council. I was excited to see a young woman, educated and willing to step up to the plate, take time from her young family and career as a lawyer to serve the public. I did not, however, predict, like many at that time, that she will surprise all of us and land on the top of the list of all candidates and be the top vote getter and become the president of the city council the first round in 2013. 4 years later, she did it again and served with honor and dignity the residents of Dearborn for another 4 years. In her legal career, Susan was a tough, smart, and decisive lawyer. She was a fierce defendant of her clients and a fair negotiator in settling disputes without compromising the interest of her clients. Right, Jeff? Absolutely. All right. I am sure she will be an ethical and a great judge on the bench, as she has always been outside the court and in the community at large. As you can tell, the last three appointed judges from our community were women. And if you have been following the progress in the Arab American community, you will notice that women are in the forefront of the civic, political, and social arenas. Fadwa Hammoud, the Michigan Solicitor General, and U.S. Representative Rashida Tlaib are only examples. And that, my brothers and sisters, defies the perception that Arab women are depressed. Only if you know, my dear friends, who is the oppressed here. In closing, I would be remiss if I do not thank specific leaders in our state that their support was instrumental in making this and other appointments possible. I want to thank my dear friends, Wayne County Executive Warren Evans, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy, and another dear friend, Gary Torgo, the chairman of Huntington Bank, who are always ready to support our people in every endeavor. Of course, our thanks and gratitude always goes to our great governor, Gretchen Whitmer, and her team. Finally, I would like to say to Susan, congratulations, to her husband, Majid, to her kids, to their extended families, and yes, to the entire community. Suzanne, keep making us proud. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Osama. Our next speaker is someone who, as a lawyer, Susan admired for her performance as a judge, and someone from the community of Dearborn. Charlene Elder is the most senior judge in the family division of the Wayne County Circuit Court. She has served longer in that division than anyone else. And let me just say that is a very, very tough job. Susan's finding that out right now, that presiding over family dissolution issues and all manner of disputes that arise in connection with that is a very difficult and very challenging thing to do. But throughout it all, Judge Elder has maintained a profound sense of coolness under fire. And I don't believe that I've ever seen her lose her temper on the bench. Now, I've heard stories, but I've personally never seen it, and it takes a lot to rile her. And let me just say that it just doesn't happen often, because she understands the assignment, and the assignment is to bring justice to families who are in desperate need of it. So I'd like to introduce Charlene Elder.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you, Jeff, for your kind words. Somehow I got stuck going after Osama and Malak, two tough acts to follow. I mean, pretty much said everything that I was thinking and that I'd want to say today. But anyways, today we're all here to celebrate Susan. He wasn't kidding, that light is very bright. And, you know, I was thinking about when I first met Susan. She was this young, beautiful lawyer pushing one of her kids in a stroller, and I still remember that. And who would have known that fast forward from that time that I would actually be attending a fundraiser for her when she set out on her quest to be a city councilwoman. And at that event, I remember that one of the speakers at her event mentioned how Susan was the top of her law school class at U of D Law. And, you know, looking back at that event, I just remember being so impressed by her accomplishments in law school and her eagerness to serve our city at such a young age. And I was impressed by her ability to basically reach for the stars and to make all of her dreams come true. And I was thinking to myself, boy, Susan's a lot like me. And actually, she is a lot like me. Because you see, Susan and I both came from the same humble beginnings. We both grew up in the same neighborhood, the South End, of course. And growing up, we both had probably very little but for our dreams. And I can say for both of us that it was our hardworking parents and our families that pushed us to make our dreams a reality. So I'm sure Susan feels the way I do, that it was their hard work that made her determined to work so hard. So I'd like to give a round of applause to Susan's parents tonight. Who would have known that eventually I would be attending Susan's victory party when she became Dearborn's city councilwoman? And not only that, she would earn the highest number of votes, making her city council president. And I thought, what an accomplishment for a first-time candidate. We formed a friendship from then on, and we talked a lot about her joining the judiciary one day. And while she would go on to serve the city and pursue her legal career, we both knew she'd ultimately end up on this branch of government. I mean, at least I knew that. And I knew that becoming a judge was her calling. I would tell her that a lot. And just like that, we're just here celebrating her appointment. And Susan, you're no stranger to family law. You're already making a fine addition to our bench. You were a respected attorney when you were practicing, and I'm sure you're going to be a very respected judge. You've gone from being that young, beautiful attorney pushing a stroller to a young and beautiful judge, watching one of your own children tackle law school and watching your other children grow into their own respective successes. I just want to wish you best of luck on this next chapter in your life. Personally, I think you're exactly where you were supposed to be, at least for now. And I'd like to personally welcome you to the Wayne County bench.
Our next speaker is someone very near and dear to Susan's heart and who was instrumental in securing this position for her. He's also someone who brings a level of experience in terms of evaluating whether or not somebody might make a good judge. He was a deputy, an undersheriff, a sheriff, a chief of police, a lawyer, director of community justice, and the Wayne County executive. We're happy to welcome here our Wayne County executive, Warren Evans.
Good evening, everybody, and Susan, I can't tell you how happy I am for you and your family. I got to tell you, sir, first of all, and I've listened to the other speakers, you know, the importance of loyalty, I heard, and boy, does that ring true. But you can't forget about competence either, and you're always trying to make a balance, if you will, in terms of the right levels of both. I met Susan in 2014. She's working in a law firm, and the owner of the firm and the other members of the firm were staunchly supporting my opponent when I ran for county executive. I mean, to the point that you couldn't see daylight through the window. There were so many posters in the window, I wasn't sure light could come in. Susan had chosen to endorse me, and I didn't realize what that meant until I rode past that office. I mean, you talk about a hostile environment. But she was supportive, and what I learned early about her was her calling in life is to serve the public. Whether it's city council, whether it's on the bench, you could always tell that what warmed the cockles of her heart was giving back to the community. And that always meant an awful lot to me. And we've kept up with each other and done a few things together over those years since 2014. But she made a lasting impression on me, and an impression that I wanted to make sure other people understood. And thank Governor Gretchen Whitmer for having the foresight to see Susan as a very valuable person on that bench. I treasure our relationship, and I think it'll only grow in the future. So thank you so much, Susan. Thank you to your family for being there for her. She's always been a good friend to me, and I still don't know how you existed in that firm. And by the way, when I talk about the law firm, they're my friends now. I mean, there's no animus there. We're just, history goes back, and you look around and say, that must not have been comfortable for a while in that office. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is someone who doesn't need an introduction because you can see him sitting here, right here in this first chair, and that is our Lieutenant Governor, Garland Gilchrist. Now, I can tell you that he is our 64th Lieutenant Governor, and I can tell you that he is our best Lieutenant Governor. I can tell you, among other accomplishments that have come to us as a result of his being in that position, is a very, very important one, and that is joining together with Justice McCormack on a task force on jail and pretrial incarceration. Now, this is important because we need it in this state to reduce our jail population, and we needed to make it a little more equal in terms of who was in jail. And the two of them came up with a series of recommendations which happily were, I should say, adopted by our legislature in a bipartisan fashion. I think 20 different bills to improve our criminal justice system. Very important work, which has proven to be a model for states around the nation. So thank you for that, Lieutenant Governor. And I know that over the past few years, the Lieutenant and his wife have become, Lieutenant Governor and his wife have become close friends with Majid and Susan. And without further ado, I will say that when he and I were in high school together, we had this bet about who would grow the most. And as it turned out, we both won. I was thinking longitudinal, and he was thinking latitudinal. So both of us won that bet, and I'm happy nobody owes anybody anything. So here he is.
All right, good evening, everyone. I gotta say, if we were in high school together, I'm confused. Thank you so much, Representative. It is really a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you tonight to celebrate something that, you know, as I said to the Chief Justice Bridget Mccormack, please give her a round of applause for being an amazing public servant. She told us she was leaving today, that she's going to be stepping down from the Michigan Supreme Court, and we will miss her dearly and her service to the state of Michigan. But Governor Whitmer and I, we are responsible for many things. We have a lot of things that fall under our purview of responsibility. But one of the greatest challenges and opportunities is the privilege that the voters of Michigan bestow upon us in allowing us to be able to appoint people to the bench. It's one of the most important responsibilities that we have, because often the public official that most citizens will come into contact with first and most often is a judge. And so it's really critical that when we exercise this responsibility, we are able to identify and elevate and position people of integrity, of competence, as the county executive said, who have the right and relevant experience, who are truly representative of our community in terms of their identities, in terms of where life has taken them, in terms of their connection. And we've made a lot of appointments. But I will say that Judge Susan Dabaja is one who embodies all of these characteristics, perhaps uniquely. And I am so proud to be able to celebrate this appointment with all of you. Y'all heard everybody else brag about Susan's resume, so I'm not going to brag anymore. Well, I'll brag a little bit, because I gotta say, I'm gonna say anyone who graduated from U of M anything, especially U of M Dearborn, to go blue alongside me. She's basically practiced like every version of law, which is important because it gives her a unique and global perspective to the many things that she will be challenged and confronted with as a public servant in this particular form. But I want to, more importantly, speak on the fact that I have had the privilege of growing in friendship with Susan, with Majid, with their entire family, as they've gotten to know Ellen and I and our family as well. It matters the people who are in public service. It matters that they love and prioritize people first. Because this entire endeavor of politics, of public service, of policy, it is nothing if it is not centered on people and positioning people to be their best selves, positioning people to play the role that they dream to play in our communities, positioning people to have a fair and equitable chance at opportunity and success. And we see this appointment and every appointment as an opportunity to demonstrate to the community that we see a role for all of us in the present and the future of the state of Michigan. Now, I know that Susan has sought to be a judge for a long time, and there is nothing more beautiful than an idea whose time has come. So Governor Whitmer and I are so thankful to be able to play a role in helping you play the role that you've sought to play in this community for so long, Susan. Thank you so much for your service and leadership. God bless you.
Susan, if you step here for a moment. So the Lieutenant Governor and I, as well as Governor Whitmer, wish to present to Susan on this occasion a tribute, which is from the state of Michigan. It's got a gold seal on it, and I see it's,
Wow, great.
yeah, we've all signed it. And Susan, that'll look beautiful in your office.
Aw, that's so nice of you guys. Thank you. That means a lot to me.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we've had a couple of people join us here since I indicated the various dignitaries. They are Judge David Allen and Judge Adel Harb and Judge Aliyah Hakim. Additionally, we have...
Jeff. Mike.
Oh, all right, okay, really. All right, so did you hear who I announced? You say, yeah, okay. With that said, we also have a candidate for state representative. I think we have two candidates for state representative here, both of whom won their primaries. One, Alabas Farhat. And Aaron Burns. All right, we're at the point in time where we're going to get down to it, and the first thing we're going to do is present Susan with her gavel, and this is going to be presented by Judge Sam Salome. I have a few comments about Judge Salome. He's our 19th District Court here judge. He has been the chief judge of the court at various times. Here is a guy who brings humor and wisdom and, most importantly, common sense to this very important position. As the Lieutenant Governor indicated, very frequently judges are, unfortunately, the face of the government that people see most regularly and most often. And at the district court level, that's particularly true, where people might be going astray, and this is an opportunity to intercede. And as far as I can tell, we have a fine bench in the 19th District Court, and Judge Salome certainly is one of the leaders there. Just an awesome, awesome human being, and I will say, quite a smart guy. He hired Susan out of law school, and he had the vision to know that at some point in time his firm was going to have to dissolve, and so what he decided to do was to hire people who would become judges. He became a judge, Hilal Farhat became a judge, and now Susan Dabaja became a judge. So the water, the drinking water there is very awesome. So I think we can say, Judge Salome, that you created what I guess could be called a power law firm here.
Thank you, Jeff. Elected and public officials, judicial colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. When Susan called me, and before she had a chance to say anything, I said, yes, I will speak at your investiture. Well, you see, I know a couple of things about Susan Dabaja. And if you know anything about Susan Dabaja, you probably also know these two things. One, she graduated first in her class, and two, Majid is her rock. And Susan never shied away from reminding us of that every single time she spoke. But what she didn't tell you, and what you probably don't know, is the reason that Susan pursued that first place with such vigor. Supposedly, someone has whispered in her ear that if she captures first place, she wouldn't have to practice law, she can immediately become a judge. Well, she did capture that first place, only to find out that was not the case. She can't become a judge. But it finally happened, and ladies and gentlemen, this evening you are in the presence of the Honorable Judge Susan Dabaja. But in order for you to truly appreciate Susan, you must know how she got here. I first met Susan Dabaja when she came to apply for an attorney's position with my firm. And the first thing she told me, well, you guessed it, she graduated first in her class. And rightfully so, because she immediately impressed me with her knowledge, her demeanor, and her credentials. And for the next 12 years or so, I witnessed this young, up-and-coming attorney flourish and mature into a strong, intelligent, and avid advocate of her clients. And while she worked hard at building her practice and excelling at the practice of law, she never allowed that to prevent her from becoming very actively and constructively engaged in the affairs of her community. She joined many organizations. She gave of her time, efforts, and resources to advocate and promote a good cause, and her service for 8 years as the City of Dearborn Council President is only a testament to her devotion and dedication to serve the greater good. And as she was an asset to the law profession, I have no doubt that her demeanor, her ethics, her moral qualifications, her intelligence, and her discipline, and her temperament will only enrich the bench of the Family Division of the Wayne County Circuit Court. So tonight, we all come together to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Susan and her family on such a prestigious accomplishment and appointment. And speaking about appointments, we would be remiss tonight if we do not extend a word of thanks to our governor, Governor Whitmer, who continues day in and day out to affirm her commitment to inclusivity and to appointing the right qualified people to the right positions. So thank you, Governor. But also make no mistake about it, that this appointment and the ones that came before it and the ones that may follow would not happen without the diligent and strenuous, quiet, efficient, but effective work behind the scenes that our community leaders continue to do to promote qualified Arab Americans to be appointed at all levels of local, county, state, and federal government. So to those leaders, we extend our gratitude and appreciation. But the ultimate gratitude goes to you, ladies and gentlemen, for your continuous involvement and engagement in the affairs of the community. You are the base of our strength, and the weight of your votes and the value of your investment in the political process does not only ascertain the sustenance of our democracy and our way of life, but also will continue to shape a brighter future for our communities, our state, and our great nation. And for that, we thank you all so very much. And now it gives me a great privilege to present Susan Dabaja with the most useful tool in our trade and business. Make sure that you delegate your bailiff the duty and the task to maintain the good order in the court, and use this only to make sure that nobody abuses the process.
Will do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, may God bless you all, and may you all have a pleasant evening. Thank you.
Can I use it now?
Take a picture of it. Why don't you just go?
Thank you, Sam. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Okay, it seems that she's a natural with this thing, so I'm just going to put this under here. All right. This is another important part of the ceremony, and this is the presentation of the robe. It's traditionally done, as it will be today, by the members of Susan's family. So I'd like to welcome to the podium Majid.
Well, Claudia first.
Oh, I'm sorry, Claudia, yes, thank you. Claudia, you first, come on up here, because you are the heir apparent to being the next judge in the Dabaja family. But you need to go work for Sam's former law firm. That's the one thing. All right, Claudia, come on up there. We're going to give you a little talk here.
Hi, everybody. Wow, I really can't see anyone right now. I'd like to thank you all for accompanying me today in celebrating a truly accomplished woman, my mother, Judge Susan Dabaja. No, I don't call her Judge Dabaja at home unless I need a favor. Yes, that's a lighthearted joke, but the truth is, my mom has had so many different titles in her life that I've gotten to call her. More than the average person. She's been known as Susan, Mom, Attorney Dabaja, Candidate Dabaja, City Council President Dabaja, Judge Dabaja, that Dabaja lady who's knocked on my door like 5 times in the past 3 years asking for my vote, and more. I would love to also give you a list of her other titles and roles in various organizations, but to be honest, you do not want me standing up here for that long. So, you may be thinking, wow, how does she have all this time to participate in all of these affairs and still have a personal life? The fact is, she didn't, at least not for a while. However, devoting her life to a bigger cause at the expense of her own personal life was not something new to my mother. I stand here before you all today as a JD candidate, a law student, attending the same university, the University of Detroit Mercy School of Law, that my mom graduated from 18 years ago, as a mother of 2, valedictorian of her class. I think we all need to point out that, you know, a lot of people can be valedictorian of their class, but they can't also be a mother of 2. When I was a child, I honestly didn't even understand what that meant, but I was happy for my mom because she seemed happy with this accomplishment. As I got a little older, I started to understand what an impressive feat it was. Now, as a law student, I'm literally shocked. It's a lot. It's a time commitment. Being smart is only half the equation. The real skill is time management and a genuine love for what you're doing. I love what I'm doing. I've never been happier in my life, but if you gave me a husband and 2 kids to also factor in, I can't say I would know how to step up to the plate. That's the thing about my mom. She stepped up, and no matter what made the journey more difficult, she was always willing to give it a shot and give it her best. That's the main reason why she is here today. That's the main reason why she has been able to rise to the top multiple times as a valedictorian in law school, as the Dearborn City Council president on her first try, and as being appointed to serve as the Wayne County Third Circuit Court as the Honorable Judge Susan A. Dabaja. Let me take a moment to be a little bit more raw with you all. I'm so happy that my mom is a judge now. I'm so grateful that she's no longer a city council president. I'm glad that she has moved on to a chapter of her life where she no longer has to sacrifice her time, her family life, her mental health, her physical health, her children's childhoods, even though it will always be a role she looks back on with both pride and humility, and she most certainly should. This role has given her the chance to fulfill her call to service, has given her and us a world of opportunity, and has allowed her to experience what an amazing and unique city Dearborn is, and meet some of the best people the world has to offer. Every job, however, comes with its hardships. I will never have to hear the door open at 11 p.m. with my mom stumbling in after a long day of working at the law office, driving straight to an event, then straight to her council meeting. She won't have to come home at night with exhaustion on her face, eating her first meal of the day, going to sleep, and having to do it all over again. I won't have to watch her put her soul into her work, which, yes, has time and time resulted in a quantifiable and positive impact on our community without receiving the full appreciation it deserved. Our family will hopefully never have to relive some of the unwarranted and challenging experiences that we faced, something that some politically involved families can relate to. These are the things that no one wants to talk about or hear, but they must be said and heard. And while I'm forever grateful that my mom, a strong woman, will not have to endure what comes with a commitment to service and public office of that sort, I will do my best to break this cycle as someone who is politically inclined and as a good human being. Thank you. On a lighter note, all these experiences have helped empower her, teach her lessons, cement her in her values. They have helped our family grow so much closer, and each of us grow wiser. Simply put, I wouldn't change a thing. I know she wouldn't either. It's been the best experience of our lives and changed the trajectory of our paths. I can confidently say that she has also changed Dearborn's path in the process, definitely for the better. Thank you. Shout out to Malak Beydoun for coming over in 2013 and convincing my mom to run for office. I love and hate you. Mom, I love and hate you for listening. Let's take a moment to give her another round of applause, please. Okay, enough groveling. My mom is amazing, she's a superwoman, all that good stuff, but I'd like to think that the rest of our family plays a part in making this work too. I have my lovely mother's work schedule to thank for learning how to cook at 15. Many of you know that these cute and elaborate meals that I cook up in the kitchen today are because I find cooking therapeutic. 8 years ago, though, I was doing that for survival. Our family dynamic isn't like most, and anyone who has been over knows that we aren't your typical Arab home, even though we kind of are. Yes, my mom would cook and clean and help us with our homework when she had the time, but when she didn't, those roles would fall onto the rest of us, my amazing, hardworking, intelligent, loving, and traditionally Arab father included. My father immigrated here in his early 20s with nothing but change in his pocket and a determination to make something out of this new life. With his incredible work ethic, meticulous decision-making, and glass-half-full attitude, my dad has left a mark on this world and a giant one in my heart. His wisdom and values are something that he tries to bestow on me every day. I am so proud to be his daughter and to see how he has held true to this work ethic in and outside of our home, stepping up from the moment he became a father to handle responsibilities that were not traditionally held for a father back then and still now. I love you, Bubba. Without my incredible dad, my mom wouldn't be who she is. Our family wouldn't be where we are. They are an extraordinary pair whose crazy ambition and devotion to success can be seen in the many accomplishments they both hold. I hope they can see these qualities in me, that I can be half the human being my parents are. I hope to one day be lucky enough to find a partner that gives me the same unconditional love and support that the two of them give each other. That's really all I can say. When I sat down to write this speech, I had no idea what I wanted to talk about. I let my thoughts flow. I wanted to keep it unedited and real with you all. I hope that you could get a better picture of this journey through my lens. My family is incredibly grateful to be here today and excited to see what is next for us. Thank you all again for joining me, and I hope to see you all at my investiture 20 years from now. I would like to call up my father, brother, and sister, Majid, Adam, and Joelle to the stage to present my mom with her robe.
Thank you, guys. Oh, wait, let me take a quick photo with them.
All right, so we're going to dispense with moot court. We're going to give Claudia Best Oral Advocate Award here today. So thank you very much, Claudia, and a nice tribute to your mother. All right, now we are about ready to get to the really important part, and that is the oath of office. The oath, we're very honored to have with us today to administer that oath of office, the Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court, Bridget Mccormack. Now, today is kind of a momentous day because it was revealed that Judge McCormack, Justice McCormack, is stepping down from her position as the Chief Justice and as a Justice of the Supreme Court. And I think how cool it was on this day that she decided when she is swearing in Susan Dabaja that she's creating a vacancy for her. So I think it's, you know, some might think that's kind of a rapid ascent, but not for Susan. All right. I do want to say that Justice McCormack has been a voice of calm in a storm that we've had over the last many years. And I think one of her associates, Justice Clement, put it this way, and I think it's excellent. In a world that has become increasingly partisan and angry, she is a voice of reason, compassion, and thoughtfulness. And I think that to be a very true summary of Justice McCormack's service to all of us. So without further ado,
thank you. Come on up. I want to say just a couple little things, but it's wonderful to be here. I feel very lucky to be included and very lucky to get to administer the oath to you, Susan.
I'm the lucky one.
Well, I get to say that, I think. Yeah. I'll be the judge of that.
Okay.
I did, just today, in a letter I sent to the governor, thank her for her appointments because, in my view, she and my buddy, the Lieutenant Governor, have made excellent appointments to the courts of the state, truly excellent candidates that, as a result of their appointments, better reflect the diversity of our state. And it seems to me clear that the governor and the lieutenant governor understand that when our bench reflects our communities, there is a much greater chance that the public will have confidence in the judiciary and therefore in the rule of law. And I know you could do anything in the world. You could make a whole lot more money. You could work far fewer hours. But you know what it feels like when somebody appears before a judge. They're not there usually because something fun is happening. It's usually a difficult thing that's going on. And so you know the difference it can make when a judge not only helps resolve their dispute, but shows compassion, shows kindness, exhibits patience, even helps them find solutions. And our state is better because you agreed to serve in this role. It is a good day for Michigan.
Thank you.
Yeah. I always write the oath down in case I mess up a word.
And I may mess up. I'm sending it.
We might both. And I left it in the locker room. So I quickly texted my Lady Justice text chain, and you can imagine who's in that text chain. I was like, quick, girls, somebody get me the oath. I think I got it, though. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution of the United States
that I support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of the state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Circuit Court Judge
of the office of Circuit Court Judge
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. Please, thank you guys so much. Please have a seat. I already feel so bad because I know it's been long that you guys have been out there. All right, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, elected officials, family, and friends. What can one say after such gracious and generous remarks? I turn to the words of the Holy Quran. But they plan, and Allah plans, and surely Allah is the best of planners. This moment right here is the unintended culmination of my life's work. I did not set out to be a judge from the very beginning of my career, but it definitely became a part of my purpose. And He knew where I would best serve, giving me both the professional, the personal, and the spiritual experiences I had to live through to gain the balance, the perspective, the work ethic, the empathy, the resilience, the strength of character to prepare me for this position. And despite what you may think, I actually don't like being in the spotlight and couldn't wait for this investiture to come and go. It's funny, you dream about it, but when it's here, you're like, I hope it just passes. But I really wanted to take this moment to publicly express my deep gratitude to all of you for investing your trust, your time, and all your efforts to help me achieve my dream of serving as judge. I'm gonna let you know, folks, this is a thank you letter to many people, so bear with me. Thank you, Jeff, for being my MC. People don't know the long history we shared. We had a really contentious case in the very beginning of my career, probably the midway point of your career. He's mediated hundreds of my cases, and he's really become a confidant and a friend. Thank you to the Dearborn Police and Honor Guard for your time today and for your support of me over the years as the council president. Thank you to Vanessa Alzane for a beautiful rendition of our national anthem. Thank you, Sheikh Ahmad and Pastor Nathan Hayes, for your blessings. It makes me feel better that that's how I started this event. Thank you, Judge Charlene Elder, Charlene in my heart, for being a trailblazer in this community, for so many attorneys, and now a whole trail of judges that followed you. I remember watching you at your own investiture and just feeling so proud as a fellow Arab American woman. We didn't know each other probably at all, but I wanted to come. I wanted to come celebrate you. Not bad for a few South Enders. You have always given me sound advice and been a listening ear when I needed it most, and I'm so excited to be your colleague. Speaking of colleagues, I want to thank our Chief Judge, Judge Timothy Kenny, my presiding judge, Melissa Cox, and every single one of the judges up here for attending and celebrating with me. I look forward to working with all of you, and I really want to thank you for welcoming me with such kindness. And I do want to also mention we have a few magistrates here. We have Lawrence Al-Asal, Rulaon, Mona Fadlallah, and Ali Hamoud. Thank you, guys. Osama Siblani. What do I say? You know, our relationship had its rocky moments, but time has only shown me over and over your deep devotion to this community, your passion to elevate all of us and to help so many, including me, to succeed in reaching their dreams. Many of you don't know how hard Osama worked and fought to make sure I was appointed. And I want to give you the recognition you deserve. It has meant so much to me. I adore you and respect you, and I want to congratulate you on your 38 years of publishing the Arab American News. You know, the last thing I want to say, you are my older brother, but I will say you are the father to all of us. Thank you, Osama. Thank you, Warren Evans, for your instrumental help in making my appointment possible. It's true, it wouldn't be possible without you as well. And thank you for being the leader our county needed when things were grim, and you helped turn things around. Thank you for recognizing and hiring talent from this community. And thank you for recognizing the talent that is Assad Turfi and appointing him as your Deputy Wayne County Executive. Assad, thank you for being a partner during my service as the council president and for pushing hard for me behind the scenes to achieve my dream, and well deserved on your new position. I want to give a special thank you to our Lieutenant Governor, Garland Gilchrist, for his leadership and his kind words. You and Ellen have a special place in my and Majid's heart, maybe in Majid's heart a little bit more than me. Funny little story, the way we became friends, we were at an event at the governor's house, and Majid tells him, "Hey, LG, can I have your cell phone number?" I was talking to somebody, and I said, "Majid, you don't ask for the lieutenant governor's cell phone number." And Majid said, "Why not?" And LG goes, "Of course I'm going to give it to him," and the rest is history. But thank you for believing in me and sharing your support of me to make this appointment possible. Thank you to our Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court, Bridget Mary Mccormack. From the moment I met you, I was in awe of your humility and your commitment to justice for all. And in fact, I was telling her out in the hallway, I just fangirl you all the time. As an attorney, now as a judge, and just as a woman in general. And to find out today that you've stepped down, I was so busy with the investiture, I didn't know it. But to find out today, and you made your way over here to swear me in, it makes this moment so much more important and special to me. So thank you so much for all your service and for your leadership and for your support. My sentence did say, it gives me peace knowing you're at the helm of our judicial system here in Michigan, but I'm sure you have set it up to be in very good hands. Thank you. As for Judge Salome, Malak, and Claudia, well, I'm going to save them for later. Aside from my speakers tonight, there are others I need to recognize as well, for without them, I would not be standing here before you today. And as I stated earlier, I apologize, but it's a long list. But that's what happens when you run 4 campaigns in 8 years and go through a rigorous appointment process. It really takes a village. In addition to my family, there were people who believed in me unconditionally from the very beginning of this judicial journey. Hash Talal Turfi and Mike Shahadi. Anything I say to you both could not suffice or express the deep gratitude I have for both of you. This celebration is as much yours as it is mine. From my very first knock, you not opened your doors to me. You and your lovely wives, Haji Namet and Shadia, welcomed me with open arms, treated me like one of your family members, held my hand, and gave me the support to reach my dream. And for that, I am forever grateful and pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards your support by paying it tenfold to your children and your grandchildren. Marwan Haidar, those who don't know you can't appreciate your big heart and unconditional support of anyone who has ties to Bint Jbel. You and your wife, Dr. Rana Sabah, who's been a sister to me since we were little girls, supported me against the odds, treated me like your little sister, even though I'm the older one, and I thank you both from the bottom of my heart. Gary Torgo, I know I would not be standing here without your support and some nudging from Osama and Warren. Your humility, kindness, and devotion to doing good is very much needed in a world that is ours today. I am so fortunate to have met you, to have learned of your generous charitable work, and to have had your support. Ahmad Boomrad, thank you for believing and supporting me when it mattered most. I'm glad our paths finally came together as you pushed to help me realize my dream. Khalil Rahal, thank you for being so much more than just a supporter. You mentored me during a very challenging time in my life. Then you worked from your heart to convince key people why I should be the next judge. And finally, you became a brother to me and Majid. Congratulations on your new position as the Director of Economic Development at DTE. They are very lucky to have you. The Under Sheriff Mike Shafer, I've known you forever, and you have been pushing to help me realize my dreams, whether it was city council or to be a judge, from the very beginning. And I remember, God rest his soul, Nader Fakuri, you both said, we're gonna make it happen, and I wanna thank you from the bottom of my heart. Judges Greg Bill, David Allen, Adil Harb, and David Turfi. And everyone really, but special thank you to them for your advice and always maintaining hope and positivity that I will serve as judge, and giving me a heads up whenever there was a vacancy. To my uncle, Dr. Bilal Abdullah, Khalo, what can I say? I love you more than I can ever express. You were my protector and my believer from the moment I announced my bid for City Council. Thank you for your unconditional love and support always. Kevin Moore, thank you for becoming as determined to get me this position as I was as determined to win you over. And Pat Devlin, thank you for believing in every single one of my political endeavors and becoming a friend along the way. I knew I could always count on you. Lisa Canada, thank you for believing in me and for being a pioneer in female leadership. Bernie, Ricky, and Laura Dickerson, thank you for listening to my story, allowing me to understand yours, and for supporting the little guy always. So you didn't think I would forget my 2 union brothers, my 2 cheerleaders, and I saw them earlier in the back over there, Mustafa Hamid and Mike Fawaz. Let me tell you, folks, if you ever need someone in your corner, it's these 2 gentlemen. Thank you both for believing in me every step of the way. Thank you to the many organizations that supported me over the years, including APAC, whose heart and soul is Abid Hamoud, as we all know, and AMPAC under the leadership of Abdullah Sheikh, the Dearborn Community Council, who's led by my cousin, Dr. Ali Berry, and Access, who's had Hassan Jaber and now Maha Frege at their helm. And I could not mention Access without mentioning Lena and Wissam and Bridget. Thank you all. And I also want to thank the Dearborn firefighters. I know I thanked the Dearborn police officers earlier, the union earlier, but the Dearborn firefighters, since day one, have supported me, and I want to express my deep gratitude to them. Thank you, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, that wonderful and resilient lady from Michigan, for believing in me and giving me an opportunity of a lifetime, the opportunity to serve the citizens of Wayne County in the capacity I've dreamt of, that as judge. I will never forget your phone call, one of the most exhilarating and blessed moments of my life. And my family and I are forever thankful to you and for your leadership. Thank you to my family and friends for putting up with me and my political craziness and stories and everything that came in between and supporting me no matter what. My story isn't unique to this community, but it does stand as a testament to the strength and generosity of this village. In 2013, as you all heard, I was elected as the council president. And the first thing I said was, I grew up with nothing, yet I had everything. And almost 10 years later, this line still rings true today. I grew up as a child of Southern Lebanese immigrants who moved to the south end of Dearborn as a young teenage couple with little more than pocket change and a dream to give their children all the opportunities they never had. They instilled in me and my siblings the values of hard work, humility, honesty, and compassion for people. So I want to thank my parents and my siblings for supporting me throughout all my endeavors and contributing to my growth as a person and public servant. As apolitical as they all are, they have never thought twice about jumping in. I think they did, but whatever. Lending a hand and being both a soundboard and a shoulder whenever I needed them. So thank you, Mama and Baba, for making me who I am today. Thank you, Wissam, Wanda, Zainab, and Hamoudi. That's my little brother. He's now a doctor. Muhammad, I'll say, for loving me no matter what, and more importantly, allowing me to be the family manager, because only the oldest daughter can do that and knows how to do it best. And I also wanted to wish a very happy birthday to my nephew today, who's here today and taking the time to celebrate me on his special day. So happy birthday, Zane. Later on, just as I was beginning my college career, I met the love of my life, Majid. As we were getting to know each other, he asked me about my priorities, and after telling him I was intent on finishing school, he made me a promise to always support me and make sure I had everything I needed to be successful in school and beyond. Little did I know how far he would go and how much he would sacrifice to make this promise a reality. While we both had a very traditional upbringing, our love and support for one another and our life together in general was anything but that. He's always been my biggest fan, fiercely loving and protective, loyal and kind, and above all else, my source of strength. Majid was and continues to be a partner in every sense of the word. I love you deeply and thank you for everything. With the promise Majid made to me in mind, I started law school with a two-year-old beside me and later as a second-year law student with a newborn on the way. I cannot tell you how challenging it was to go through law school as a parent of a toddler and an infant. The guilt of not being present enough in either of these worlds consumed me. To paint a picture, I vividly recall Joelle's very first birthday. It was also the final day of my bar exam. Exhausted and burnt out, I finished my exam, drove from Lansing to Dearborn, where I found my family waiting for me with cake and balloons to celebrate both my exam and her first birthday. And in moments like that, as easy as it might have been to simply quit, I knew I had to keep the bigger picture in mind and keep going. After graduating law school, first, Sam, did you get that? I was presented with opportunities and decided to work at a local law firm to devote more attention to raising my family and giving back to the community that raised me. And there I met my mentor, Judge Sam Salami. Sam was so much more than a mentor. He was like an older brother to me. Of all the life lessons he has taught me, The one I carry closest to my heart has been to respect the dignity and humanity in those I serve or represent. Oftentimes in this line of work, it can be easy to get desensitized or jaded to the struggles and challenges that people face on a day-to-day. However, his influence stays with me even today and serves as a constant reminder that the people we interact with are someone's mother or father, grandfather, aunt, or uncle, and their lived experiences matter. So Sam, thank you for giving me the space to grow and for providing me sound advice during the ups and downs of public service. Thank you. And working at Judge Salamy's then law firm, I was introduced to one of the most meaningful people in my life, my best friend and sister, who many of you know as my campaign manager, Malak Beydoun. My political journey began one evening in December of 2012, and sitting in my family room, Malak approached me and Majid with this clever idea to run for city council. And well, you know the rest is history. Malak saw in me what I didn't even see in myself, and I will forever be indebted to her. And most people know Malak to be tough, talented, and reserved, but if you're one of the few lucky people, and I truly consider myself lucky, to really get to know her beyond that, you know what an incredible, beautiful soul she has. She's loving, kind, and tender. Malak, thank you for sharing your generosity of spirit and being one of the most loyal and loving people in my life. Through good times and bad, you have stood strong in the face of adversity and took on my struggles and challenges as your own. Your brilliance is matched only by your compassion. I love you, Malak. I know I said this was lengthy, I'm almost done, but this moment is so important because it's my final opportunity to thank the unsung heroes in this journey. While I was always the one in the spotlight, there are so many that caused that light to shine on me. And to that end, in 2016, as I began gearing up for another race, I was pleasantly surprised when someone who had previously worked against me, his own blood, decided to join our team. However, I quickly realized what an incredible person Hussein Dabaja was. Whether it be his attention to detail, his political acumen, or his ability to break down and understand numbers like none other, Hussein gives his all and expects nothing less of himself. And more than that, Hussein truly has a heart of gold. He has a propensity for truth and fairness and treats everyone with dignity and respect they are owed. On a personal level, for better or for worse, Hussein has protected me and continues to protect me as a brother would a sister. Hussein, I am grateful that Allah has placed you in my life and know you will always have a friend and sister in me. Together, Malak and Hussein have proven to be the most loyal, dynamic, and talented team, truly yin and yang. But with every yin and yang, you need someone to stir up trouble, and that was our friend and design guru, Oliver Nasrallah. Then you want to add some sparkle, and that's the shine of some of our young people. Adam Abu Salah, who's become like a second son in my family. Zainab al-Hashimi, Hilal Bazi, and Hussein Saad, and Alexa. Thank you all for your help over the years. Now I'll be honest, serving as a council president for the past 8 years required passion, commitment, vigor, and determination to make Dearborn the best place to live, work, and play. It has been both rewarding, but not without its challenges. And I want to take this opportunity to thank my true loves, my children, who have sacrificed so much. Claudia, or Lulu as we call her, our next lawyer and the second mother of our family. Thank you, Habibti, for stepping up to the plate and taking care of our household. Whether it be cooking dinner or managing appointments for your siblings, you have carried so much on your back at such a young age. I see in you a better version of me at your age, and I have such high hopes for the incredible and passionate attorney I know you will be. Joelle, our family's cheeky spitfire of a daughter with all the gusto and grit. Thank you for always being the joy of the family and lifting everyone's spirits, especially in times of discomfort. Although you put on a tough exterior, your sensitive heart and gentle nature remind me of all the good that exists in the world. To the world, watch out. Joel Hamoud is going to put a stamp on it. Adam, my sweet boy, who's now a handsome young man. Check out his bow tie. You were forced to grow up so fast in the political limelight, and yet you remained so kind and tender. At such a young age, you learned to exercise incredible restraint, especially when faced with difficulty in order to protect our family. And let me tell you, it's not easy when you're 14, 15 years old, 16 years old, and you're on social media and you see people attacking your mother. And to maintain the restraint he did. And I applaud you for that, Habiba. Your cleverness, your quick-witted comments, and knack for irritating me in a way no one else could just make me love you more and more. I owe a debt of gratitude to all three of you and your father because of how loving, reliable, and gracious you have all been. I think I often took you for granted. Thank you for sacrificing and sharing your mom and your wife. You deserve someone who was present, available, and in tune, even though you didn't always have it. But I did all this to provide you and others with a better world to live in, and I love you always and forever. And finally, I want to thank God, who has bestowed so many blessings on my family and I. I can never truly express in words the depth of gratitude I feel to God for what He has given me. I feel incredibly privileged and sometimes wonder what I do to deserve His blessings in this way. And now that I'm formally vested with the office of judge in the Wayne County Circuit Court, I'm humbled by His generosity and understand the weight of the responsibility He has given me. And I'm keenly aware of the responsibility assumed and the challenges to be met and faced, and the opportunity to make a positive difference for the individuals that come before me in the judiciary and the county and the state as a whole. And my promise, as I expect from my own children, is to do my very best. And I promise to continue to work to help the judiciary fulfill its important role in providing justice fairly and equitably with humility and grace. And with that, I thank you all for being here tonight. I hope you will join me in the reception afterwards. I want to thank Biblos for catering, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I know it was sort of a long program, but this is my final hurrah to you guys all and to everyone that really helped me be where I am today. I wanted to share this with everyone in the public because I know in my heart I would not be where I am at this moment without all of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Please join Susan and her family for a reception here in the building. And thank you very much for your attendance and your attention. Good night.
Thank you again.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Nice to see you.
Oh, no.
This is awesome. This is so awesome. I know you're so proud of me. That's great. That's great. No, I got you. Good to see you.